Yes, sir. I got a lot of headroom here. Let's take that out.
Okay, Richard E. Gordon, CEO Dojo here. And I am starting this series that I call Solving the Puzzle, one piece at a time. And with great pleasure, I have with me Cris Cole, who is a man of knowledge. He's a student of the world. He's a student of life, which in my world is the greatest compliment because you're constantly learning, constantly expanding to the next level, and that's how you become an advanced thinker. So without further ado, Cris Cole, tell us a little about yourself.
Hey, how are you? My name is Cris Cole, and I'm an entertainer, martial artist first. And through that, just was very blessed to be out in Los Angeles as we're going back a little bit. I got my degree in mass media production, communication at University of Houston. And then from there, of course, I got a minor in religious studies. And so having those two in my back pocket, I always fancied the entertainment business. And I thought I was going to come at it from a different perspective, meaning that I thought that being a professional athlete would have gotten me there quicker because I was an athlete before that. But just going through the pitfalls of being an athlete and the not insecurities, but the insecurities of not knowing if you're going to be there the next week or even let alone the next day. You know, that's what professional, the sport, the realm that I played in football. So I went back to school at University of Houston and got my degree in mass media production and communication with a minor in theology. And once I finished that, I went out to Los Angeles to pursue a career in entertainment and I'm an entertainer, still I'm an entertainer, and really fell in a group of phenomenal martial scientists, martial artists. And from there, it just took my love for martial artists and it just grew and grew and grew. So yeah, I'm an entertainer, martial artist, teacher, minister, and all this is by God's grace. And I got a chance to meet Mr. Guru Gordon at a teacher at Seafood Polytechnic, which is a phenomenal teacher, and was one of my phenomenal teachers that I got a chance to just be able to train with out in Los Angeles. So that's how we met, and you know, long story, you know, things happen and you grow from those experiences, and I can definitely say that I'm placed in the right place, and just the knowledge and experience that I have through my teachers, I'm very appreciative of. And thank you for having me here. Yes.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Thank you, Cris, for that introduction. And Cris is just a phenomenal person in addition to his vast knowledge. And he's a kind person. You know, you get that from someone when you meet them. They're either kind or they're not. And he was just very kind, very helpful. He's got this very gentle spirit, but he's also a very well-trained martial artist. So he has that physical strength and that confidence that goes with it, which is a great combination in life because it's not all about physical. And so what we're going to talk about today is knowledge. There's so much knowledge out there. You have all this knowledge at our fingertips, especially with the virus. There's so much knowledge being disseminated, and you have to be careful because not all knowledge is correct. So the question I'm posing today is, with the abundance of knowledge, with all of the knowledge we can have and we can make ourselves available to, is knowledge alone the answer to success, happiness on the physical, the mental, the spiritual level? So what are your thoughts on that, Cris?
Knowledge is great, right? Is interesting, but I was just reading the Bible, and it took me to Genesis, and it was breaking down the tree of knowledge and the tree of wisdom and the tree of just it was just talking about different things in the Bible. And so the tree of knowledge was just the know-all and just knowing everything. And this is just my interpretation on it. The tree of knowledge, just knowing everything from good and evil. And I might be misquoting a little bit from it, but what I got from that was that all knowledge is not good without wisdom to decipher, you know, what you're getting and where the sources you're getting it from. Because there's so many sources. Let's just talk about the internet. There's so many sources that you're getting it from. So many. It's like, as a martial artist, I can go and look and do my research and figure out different knowledges from different masters or teachers. But the best thing that you can do is that one-on-one reaction, that interaction when you're face to face. I think for me, that's the best way I've learned, because you get to learn the different nuances of the individual through the way they move, the way they talk, the way they explain things. And it's just that was the best way of knowledge. So I believe knowledge equals experience and wisdom. You know, when you have those three and you're moving in a centered base, meaning that you're wanting to get it from a true heartfelt place, as opposed to trying to empower yourself to use it as manipulation, to use it in a different way to manipulate and to change things. I don't feel like it truly, this is me, the spiritual. Uh, I'm trying to say it without saying it, with God. Okay, with God, I feel like God, he, this, we always try to say he or whatever, but God, let's just say God, the universe, it's just, he's rewarding to those who truly seek his knowledge and his wisdom, heartfelt, and use it to empower themselves, which empowers others, because it's all about others. It's all about spreading from generations to generations. I always use this as an analogy. I love Kobe Bryant. I love him. Like I love him like a brother. Like, I wish I could have met him. And I put it out in the universe years and years, like wanting to meet people of that type of realm, being around people, because I've had a chance to interact with different actors and celebrities. And I really wanted to meet him because he just allowed that, basketball part to get him to a place where he can empower himself and which empower others. And you saw it in his second career throughout the entertainment. He was wanting to help people, and he was about the people, and he's about helping people. He's like, look, I've gotten to a place, I worked hard, and I used what God gave me. I had the knowledge, I had the wisdom, and I executed all those. And I had the spirituality, and I executed them. I worked hard, and I made it pass. So I think, I made it come to pass, and now I'm making others' dreams come true. I think the biggest thing that we can do is that knowledge, faith without works, and since, of course, faith without works is dead, and works without faith is dead. So we got to have faith, and we got to work with faith. So I believe in knowledge. Getting too much knowledge from a wide perspective, as opposed to not getting it from a source that, like a teacher. Like if you're getting it from a teacher, like your knowledge, you can get knowledge, your knowledge from just looking on the internet and saying, okay, I want to study Eskrima. Let's just say college Eskrima. I want to study college Eskrima, but it's nothing like actually going there face to face, having an interaction with the teacher who you're interacting with, and picking up their personality, picking up who they are, picking up their essence, picking up their true essence. And when you do that, it's just like, wow, that's so empowering. To me, that's as they say, the Quan. And they say in the movie Jerry Maguire, that's the Quan. It's not the Qua, it's the Quan. And the Quan means that full, that fullness, that we're all searching for. And that's what we're all searching for, is that fullness, that completeness. And you only get it through being around, obviously influences such as Guru Gordon and other teachers from the lights, so.
No, and that's excellent. You covered lots of amazing points in there, and it shows the full depth of knowledge. So again, a true student, a true person that understands. It's just along what popped in my head when you speak. It's just along the same lines as acting. You are in the acting field, and you can go online right now. We can Google how to be an actor, and you can find a million websites that are going to tell you what to say, how to stand. Exactly. You laugh because it's that comical. And then you understand why people buy it, because they want to understand how to be an actor, and they want to understand the craft. But it goes along the same lines. Once you have that knowledge, you do need the experience. And so the word, again, I always use is action. So knowledge without action, faith without works, it goes along the same way. Faith works is action. So without the knowledge, when you don't take action, then it's not going to come to be. And then there's the wisdom. And again, you only develop that through the experience. So yeah, you can learn online how to be a great actor, but you're going to have to go out there. You're going to have to go in the trenches. You're going to have to get in front of the camera. You're going to have to work with a coach. You're going to have to work with other actors. So you're going to have to do all of those things. So it's about putting it into action. So someone has knowledge. How do they go about applying it to what they want to do? How do they go to become successful? So it's out there. Now we can access it. We agree on that. So how do we get from the knowledge to the wisdom is the big question.
How do we get from knowledge to wisdom?
I told you it was a good question.
It's a great question. It's a really good question. How you get personally? I will read books. I'm sorry about the dog in the background.
No problem.
Again, I'm in the country. Knowledge and wisdom. So it's like I'll read on a topic. Like what books am I reading right now? I'm reading, of course, the Bible, the Torah, and samurai. I can't remember exactly, but in the book of samurai, you can read about a samurai. You can and get knowledge of what it means to be noble, what it means to persevere, what it means to be diligent, and the four cardinal virtues, right? Fortitude, prudence, temperance, and justice are the four cardinal virtues, right? So you can learn all about that and say, oh, okay. But the difference between that is actually taking that knowledge that you have now of that subject, particular subject, and going out and seeking the right teacher to give you that wisdom, because wisdom is experience.
Mm-hmm.
Wisdom is experience. You know, you can only do so much of this. You have to eventually go out and apply it. And that's what I love about martial science, because you can watch videos all day and see people do the hoova and see people do the 6 count, people do sombrada, people do all these other different fancy moves. And you're like, wow, that's beautiful, right? And you can do the hand gestures and the motions, and it kind of looks similar. But those who know, I say, nah, you're just waving air. You're just flapping flies in the air. You know, it's just looking good, right? So those who know. And so the best thing that you can do is go out there and experience. And I'll tell you a story, is that I always knew I wanted to be an entertainer. I always knew I wanted to be an actor, but I was an athlete too. And so I knew at the 4th grade, I was sitting in Miss Damro's class, and she was on the chalkboard. She was writing up math problems. And I'm waiting for her to finish up math problems, and I'm looking around at my classroom, and I look to my left, and kids are playing outside on the playground. And I said, that's what I want to do. They're playing basketball. Like, I thought I was going to be Michael Jordan, like every other kid. Yeah. After playing basketball, I said, I don't know, because I had multiple sports. I played like 4 or 5 different sports. My dad constantly had me acting because that's the type of energy that I had. And so I was like, I don't know what particular sport that I'm going to play professionally, but I'm going to be a professional athlete. I'm going to be an entertainer. So I knew I had that feeling from a young age. And so from there, I just carved things out. You know, I was like, okay, this is what I eventually want to become. This is what I want to do. You know, and this is the people that I want to seek out. And so fast forwarding back, I went out to New York and experienced it as an entertainer. I got to experience because I wanted to be an actor. And the best way to be an actor is to experience it, to truly feel those emotions, to feel all the emotions from the low, which is scary, to the highs, right? And everything in between. And I know that only New York could give me that realistic feel. And so, especially the streets in New York. I lived in Harlem. I lived in South Jamaica, Queens. You get to interact with multiple cultures. You learn different. You hear different languages. You interact with people's different energies because they have more of an aggressive energy. Because the East Coast is up tempo. Everything's fast in the East Coast. And I'm coming from the South. I'm coming as a country boy. So I can't go around there saying, hey, how do I get down to Manhattan? How do I get to Trump Plaza? Or how do I get to Times Square? Or how do I get, I had to say, hey, how do I get to, you had to be really talking, depending on who you're talking to, culturally, and that's a big thing too, is culture, understanding cultures. Different cultures, I had to pop a little bit, I had a little bit talk. And certain different cultures, I had to talk differently because certain cultures can only take certain type of elements of different cultures. So I picked that up a lot in New York because it's about talking with people. It's about picking up experience, and right? And that's what wisdom is. So knowledge, I could have read about New York. I could have read about the different methods of acting and then applied it and took it out to LA. But I knew that I wanted to be an entertainer. And like I said, in 4th and 5th grade, I was sitting in Miss Damro's class, watching the kids play. And I said, from there, athlete, and fell through whatever. And then I said, from the entertainment, from as an entertainment value, as an actor, my value is going to be better from experience, because that's the mother of everything. Is experience is the mother. So went out to the LA, got that experience, and it's just from there it went out to LA, and I applied it in Los Angeles. So for me, knowledge is great. You can sit here because this is knowledge, understanding about it, how it works, right? You have a particular subject, topic that you're interested in. I like that. Okay, let me do this. Okay, now let me feel it. Let me feel it. Let me get the wisdom to feel it, And so that to me is knowledge and wisdom, is that you're actually getting a chance to feel it, experience it, and allow it to come into your being and be like, okay, this is processing through mind, body, and spirit. Mm-hmm. You have those 3, right? I've broken my fingers in football, so my fingers are all over. Right? But you have mind, body, and spirit.
Yeah,
And when
and
you
that is awesome stuff. And so you covered
yeah,
so many key components. You know, again, the basis of teaching and the basis of learning, it starts with a thought. You know what I mean? You look
yeah,
out the window and you says, hey, I have this thought in my head that I want to be an athlete. And then from
and,
there, you take that, you want to get knowledge upon it. And then you take the action. And so then the key to that as well. So you covered all of these steps of the ladder to get there. And one of the key steps in there, and I'm a big believer in, but I want you to speak on that, is you get the thought, you want to do something, you get some knowledge on how the sports work, you take action, and then whatever field you're in, it's important that you have a mentor. You know, they come under different names, coach and mentor, and people say, is a coach or mentor? Is mentor different than coach? And that's a conversation for another time, but I still look at it as someone that's going to guide you. So I use that
yes,
term mentor, and that you need, no matter what field you're in, whether it's the sports, whether it's football, basketball, baseball, no matter how much natural talent you have or how much gift you are given, like Kobe had and Michael Jordan, they had gifts. They still had to have someone to guide them. So
mm-hmm.
I see oftentimes people let their egos get in the way, or they get to become where the knowledge gets in, they become knowledgeable, and then they don't want to learn anymore. So can you speak on that key component, which you alluded to, the mentor or the coach? So how important do you think a mentor or coach has been in your life, and how important do you think it is for other people to seek that?
Well, my first coaches were my mother and my father, and they're
So it
both
should be.
being
It should start in the home. So perfect example. It should start in the home. You know, your parents and my parents guided me to this day. I'm 58 years old, and their lessons resonate with me today. So great point.
amen. So I mean, it's definitely mom and dad,
Mhm.
and it wasn't easy lessons. I took a lot of. I know I can't cuss on this thing. I took a lot of butt whoopings to get to where I was, because I was that type of energy, you know, and I needed that. I needed that discipline, you know, and I appreciate it. And I was telling Dad, you know, at 21, it wasn't until I was 21 I got a chance to reflect. I was like so appreciative of my father. My dad was really hard on me because my dad's a disciplinarian. My dad is an administrator. My dad was my sixth grade principal in sixth grade. So it's
You had
very,
on both sides.
yeah. And then my mom's a psychologist. So,
You didn't stand a chance. You didn't stand a chance, my man.
no. And I'm the youngest child. So I was taking butt whoopings from my dad. I was taking butt whoopings from my older brother.
They had that bar like way up here.
Yes. Yes. So I understood, not understood, but I understood the importance of having strong mentors. And even when I got younger, not older, everyone, as I got younger, I really seeked them out. I seeked out teachers. I seeked out, by the God's grace, Sifu Joseph Jackson, Guru Joseph Jackson, Sifu Sam, Guru Dan Inosanto, Guru Gordon, such as yourself. You know, I seeked out these people. I seeked them out with my heart. I didn't know their names at first. I seeked out a Guru Jerry Mounts. You know, I seeked out those individuals. I seeked out a Grandmaster Guru Felix Valencia. I seek those people out. You know, Guru Corky Gray. By the God's grace, I put that energy out there. And I'm saying names because their names need to be mentioned. Because without my teachers, I'll be nothing. I always tell everybody, you know, hey, you do all these things. I do martial arts. I sing. I dance. I act. I do all those things. I do those things in entertainment. So that's what I do. I said, but I definitely have mentors, and my mentors will always be better than me. And that's the mindset that you have to get. And that's what I love about Kobe, is that he was always respectful, because his biggest mentor, as you know, he patterned his game after Michael Jordan completely. After the way he talked, the way he interviewed, it was just impeccable. When you watch Kobe, you're like, and then he speaks Italian. It's like, and Spanish fluently, you know, and you're like, wow, this is someone who I would love to be around, you know? And so you seek out and you pattern yourselves after these teachings. So I've just been thankful that I've had great teachers, and they're very present in my movements, in the way I converse, and the way I act. And it starts with mom and dad, and mom and dad have migrated themselves into different individuals, such as Guru Joseph. He's like my martial arts father. And so Guru Joe, just like his dad, which was was a part of the Tougaloo Nine, which is part of Medgar Eggers. If I'm saying this right, if I'm butchering names, I apologize. The head of the NAACP, he was with him. You know, so these are the type of mentors that I've been blessed to be around. You know, from different perspectives, from athletes, from politicians, from entertainers, from blue collar people, from people that work at Walmart. I worked at Walmart for about a month and a half here in Gatesville, Texas. And my appreciation, I've always had appreciation. My appreciation for the essential workers, as we're calling them, but I call them the blue collar, has grew extreme. You know, and there's some other things I'll touch on later on as far as getting a workers union, especially here in Texas. But my appreciation for them grew, especially when I'm seeing 60-plus-year-old individuals having to go to work every day under the conditions that they're under. Some are dealing with body issues. Some are dealing with body health issues. One lady, for instance, she had a broken ankle by the name of Miss Linda. She had a broken ankle. She had a cast on. She was in her 60s. She showed up every day for work and put in the work. Didn't complain, just got it done. And was nice and polite and very professional. And I took out of that like, man, if these people can go to work every day and work hard and be a light to this world, who am I? Who are we? Who are we?
Yep.
And so those are my type of men. Those are people that I draw to. It isn't necessarily the athlete or from that manner or the entertainer. It's a person's spirit, you know, because you know, having experience working in different fields, not just entertainment, because as you know, until you're into that top percent, you're working dead end jobs. You might be a Lyft driver, you might be working for Uber, you might be working at Pizza Hut, you might be whatever, you might be doing whatever you might need to do, right? That's just part of business. And that's what I love about it, because it helps you, and it helps you grow, and helps you grow appreciation for just people who are working, who have kids, people who have the same job you're having, and they have kids, and they're trying to stretch that little paycheck they have among their family, and they're just feeding their family. But they have the greatest spirit. They work hard. They have integrity. They have passion for what they do. You know, and so I take out of that, you know, it's just I see mentors and mentors and children. I see everybody as a mentor, you know, because you can learn from everyone. You can learn what to do, and as my grandfather said, what not to do. Just by watching a person, watching how they move. You're a person who I want to mimic, or you're a person who I do not want to mimic, as far as like your actions and the way you do. You know, so.
And I appreciate that approach to the mentor and the coaching aspect in life, because you hit the nail on the head. And again, that comes back to the way I preface it, the knowledge, because sometimes people get to a point of knowledge, or they're educated, or they have credentials, and they think, I can't learn from a kid. I can't learn from this certain person. But when you truly have knowledge, you realize that anyone can help and guide you. You know, I had a conversation not too long ago. People are like, well, I can't talk to kids and I can't talk to this generation. And I try to be patient, but I'm like, why not? Like, why? You know, that's what your knowledge should be allowing you. I should have enough knowledge to talk to anyone of any age. I said, an example, I was with my friend's 4-year-old. So in theory, 58 years old, 4-year-old, what should we have to talk about, right? And if you look at it with a lack of knowledge. So he shows up, he's wearing Spider-Man sneakers, Spider-Man shirt, and a Spider-Man hat. Guess what we talked about?
Spider-Man.
And do you think he was excited and engaging with Spider-Man? So again, that to me is the application of the knowledge. And like you said, you know, once you have that knowledge that people can give you information, you can relate to people, and it opens up this whole conversation, because now I'm getting insights of a 4-year-old. So he sees the world completely different than I do, and I'd be able to see a different perspective. I might learn patience. I might learn a million things that come into play with when you're open to learn. And so that's what I always liked about you. You're a very humble man, and I think that comes with, you know, it's a spirit, but it's also a knowledge, because we realize that when we are humble, you know, again, biblically they talk about it, when you are humble, more things are given to you. You know, it's better to be offered the seat at the head table than asked to leave it. And I've always followed that in my life. And so I'll always stay back, and people say, hey, you need to be in the first row. And so that, again, to me is just what I've always seen you to be, is a humble person, based on your your knowledge and your spirit, and they come together. They tie together, especially in someone like you. And so, I appreciate you sharing the whole concept of how mentors have helped you in your life. And yes, it starts at home. So that's a beautiful thing, because people often forget that. They think we send kids off to school, or we do this. You have parents, grandparents, if you're in their life, aunts, uncles have been in my life. So I've learned from all of them different lessons, different life lessons, because I was open to it. Same thing, not always willingly. Some lessons were slow to sink in my head, and it took them time. So with that said, what is one piece of advice you can give everyone out there based on starting today? Because everybody's saying, oh, there's all this knowledge and you could change your life tomorrow. So what's one piece of advice you can give folks on what they can do to change their lives based on knowledge and information that's available to them? So I always
I would
like to
say,
ask some questions that make people ponder. That's good. I
right.
always like to see the wheel.
Look, you see me ponder. Look, I was pondering. I was like,
That was a true pondering moment. So yeah, I love getting people to think, and also I like that because people are careful about their answer. Because oftentimes you talk to people like this, they're just going to shoot something out. Whatever you ask them, they're going to have a little quick response, and it's not well thought out, and it's not really necessary from their heart. So I truly do like to see people spend a second pondering.
Appreciate that. I appreciate that. Give it to me again. Give me the question again. I'm
Yeah.
prepare.
Yeah. So basically, we talked about the knowledge. We talked about the essence of knowledge and wisdom and experience. So with that, what's one piece of advice that you can give people how they can use knowledge to the best of their ability? And I talk about the be you for you. And so that's the thing I wanted to point out as well. You are a very good indication of be you for you, because when you had that first thought, you were going off and doing things. You were going to travel. You could have very well followed in the path of your parents and your family and your neighborhood, and you could have stayed right where you were. You didn't need to venture to New York. You need to venture to LA. You need to venture to train with lots of different people. So you were being you for you, because you made a decision that based on knowledge and based on your spirit, you were going to follow it. So I appreciate that. So with that said, so one piece of information that will help people for themselves, like, okay, all of this knowledge, do I become a world traveler? Do I stay put? So again, one piece of advice for someone to say, hey, with all this knowledge out there, this is one simple thing you can kind of do to help process it.
Nice. I would definitely leave this, is that I was talking to a friend yesterday, and we were talking about another friend. He's like, he has a master in psychology. And he's like, he's never on the phone. He's never answered the phone. I said, he's okay. He said, he's nothing but nothing on. I said, he's in his own world. And I said, do you not know that I'm in this house sometimes and I don't leave the house? And I've been I didn't travel overseas. I didn't been to Asia. I didn't been to Europe. I didn't travel everywhere. And I haven't left my house. I think that once we get back to, I love what you say, be you for you, get back to the root of you for you. And you take time to understand what makes you go and what doesn't make you go, and what you like and what you don't like. You take time to discover yourself, And it's scary. It's very scary. And I remember, I always use this divorce because, I love my ex-wife and I appreciate her. And I just hope that she's where we're at, because we have a 6-year-old. That's our gift. That's our gift. That's the gift that God gave us. Is that when I was out there in Pasadena, out on a ranch, I was on a ranch in Pasadena. I was in a little trailer. And literally I would go to bed and I'd wake up every day smelling horse manure. So the horse and I have a strong affinity for horses. It goes back since I was 6 years old, organically. But, being at that ranch, and when everyone leaves, I'm there by myself. It's just me and nature and animals. And I had nobody to deflect my attention from, and distract me. It was just me dealing with me. It was me dealing with my past and dealing with the present and dealing with the future. And from that, I'd start mapping out and carving and what I want to do, honing my craft, singing, doing the martial arts, all the things that made me as an actor, really putting this thing together, machine that I call Cris Cole, because we all have an identity. Whatever your God and your parents bless you name with, this is my identity. I like to go by the Sanskrit, right? It's Satnam. And one of my teachers is a master in Kundalini Yoga. And so the saying is Satnam. When we greet each other, we say Satnam. And of course, namaste is I'm acknowledging light in you as you acknowledge light in me. But we say Satnam. Truth is my identity, and identity is my truth. And when you truly seek out those things, you'll figure out, you'll sort of like I love Jordan and I love Kobe, but I love me more because I'm me. God's made me unique. I love to watch Kobe. I love to watch these guys in the NFL draft make millions and acquire millions and acquire things that I would love to pursue, love to acquire, because, and have that and have a great career. Let's just not put numbers on it, but have a phenomenal career, but at the same time, I love me and I love my story. And I think that's what we need to get back to, is because we're so caught up in everybody's story, right? Especially social media. We're so caught up in who's wearing this and who's doing that. I want to be like this. I want what you got. We're constantly coveting somebody else's things, constantly coveting. Like, I want what you have. I want this. I want that. Well, you don't necessarily want that because you don't know what they had to go through.
Correct.
Go through the extremities that they had to go through to get to where they had to get to. So you might not be able to take, you might not can't handle that, and so, and that's the thing that my mother gave me. My mother gave me from a young age, like, baby, because I had some friends, multicultural friends. And so my multicultural friends, right, in the neighborhood that I grew up with, when we went to school, we stopped hanging around each other like in 7th grade. It's like I wasn't cool anymore, right? Yeah. They were like, they had their own groups. And I was like, wait a minute, but we're cool. We just hang out. And then it wasn't until we acknowledge our differences, right? Cultural differences. And I was like, well, wait a minute. We were like best friends. I go over your house all the time, your mom and dad and my mom and dad. And we spend the night at each other's house. But, things change because we get influenced. And we get influenced by others and what they think and what they do. I think once my mom was like, listen, Chris, people are going to go, your friends are going to come and go. I can take your friends. He said, but my mom said, if you be yourself, the people that are meant for you will come around you naturally. She didn't say organically because that wasn't a word. People in LA made that organic word up. They didn't make it up, but they made it popular. So everybody will say organic because it just sounds good, right? But she said they were naturally, organically will come around you. And when she told me that, I was like, okay, I'm just going to be me. I'm just going to be the best me I can be. And I feel that, like, when I sit and look at my daughter, who's a biracial child, and I look at her and she's like, Daddy, blah, blah. I'm like, be you for you. Be you. Be the greatest you. Be you. You're going to take bits and pieces of your teacher with you. You're going to see me and you because she's a spitting image of me. You're going to see me. You're going to see your grandmother. You're going to see your granddad. You're going to see all your ancestors, your aunts, your uncles, your cousins, your mom and dad. You're going to take from all of us. But the best thing that you can present to the world, the best present is you. Is you. It's like my teachers, like yourself. All my teachers are phenomenal. All of them. But I took what they gave me and I molded it more into me. And it was my gumbo. It's the gumbo that I put. I put a little spice here, a little spice there, spice from this individual, spice from this individual, and I created my own gumbo. And now that my gumbo is fully seasoned only by God's grace, I can present it to the masses in the world and say, this is my gumbo. This is my seasoning of that I got, i.e. my teachers. My teachers are my seasoning. But here's my gumbo, and here it is. Yeah, just be you.
Yeah, and that is awesome advice. And again, that is a very great point summing up everything you shared. So taking the knowledge or seeking the knowledge that's going to benefit and resonate with you. Again, that's so simple in a little sentence, but that is very difficult. We've all been swayed by, influences in society and even in certain ways. Everybody thinks, oh, I'm above that. You might be, but we're all influenced. There's so much media. There's so much coming at us fast paced. It could be a girlfriend. It could be even your spouse. We're influenced by all of these different things. But so what I advocate, and you said it perfectly, is just whatever you seek, make sure it's going to fuel who you want to be, who you are. And then that's a perfect example of the knowledge. So seek that knowledge. So there's so much knowledge out there. So if you want to be a singer, go and seek knowledge that's going to help you improve to be a singer.
Yeah.
Don't do things just because it's either free or it's cool, or study this in school because it's chic. Oh yeah, the popular, because I remember back in my day, oh, the popular thing is computers. The popular thing is forensic science. All of those are good if that's you. But if I'm going to go and try and study forensic science and I'm not a science guy,
Gonna put you to sleep.
it's going to be painful. Exactly. So you know, the input you gave was dead on for people to go out, and especially in this time where there's everything on the internet, and just seek what's going to fuel you. Again,
Yeah.
some people have influence from their parents to be a lawyer, to be a doctor, to be an accountant, to be, and that's good influence. And process that and explore the professions that are in your family or that are around you, and then say, do I want to be a lawyer? Get the knowledge to make the decision for you. So again,
Absolutely.
this has been super awesome. You gave, you know, perfect advice in the summation, and I appreciate all of your wisdom and your knowledge to share with people. And again, just wanted to touch base and let people know there's lots of knowledge out there, but don't let it overwhelm you. Don't seek knowledge that is not going to be bettering you as a person. And again, Cris emanates that perfectly. He's got a lot of knowledge. He's developed a very unique individual style. He's very much the student and continues to learn, and he continues to seek people to guide him. So those, again, the key ingredients: seek the knowledge for you, seek people to help guide you, and then be you for you. So we'll go ahead and end it there.
And empty your cup. I wanted to say, and empty your cup, as they say. My teacher says, brother, your cup is full. What are you talking about, Seafood? Empty your cup.
Absolutely. Great visual.
Your,
Great
Keep your cup.
visual of the, if you go with a full cup, you can't add any more. So great visual. But CEO Dojo, Richard E. Gordon with Cris Cole. Peace out.
Peace out.